Counter-Strike is a game of milliseconds, mechanics, and decision making. But the one thing that ties it all together is mentality. You can have sharp aim, perfect lineups, and great game sense, but none of that matters if your mindset isn't right. I played soccer semi competitively, and it's the same concept. The moment your emotions take over, your performance drops. Whether you're on the field or in CS2, your mental state dictates your level. You can grind mechanics for hours, but if your mind isn't in check, you will always be limited. Because CS2 isn't just about mechanics, it's a mental battle every single round. In any competitive space, whether it's Counter Strike or soccer, stoicism is one of the most powerful mindsets you can train. It's like your mechanics, you don't just have it, you build it over time. One of the main principles of stoicism is learning to focus only on what you can control. You don't control the chaos, you control your response to it. In CS2, you can't control if your teammate trolls, misses a smoke, or refuses to calm. In soccer, you can't control a ref making a bad call or your team showing up flat. But stoicism isn't about avoiding chaos, it's about thriving inside it. It teaches you to stay composed when everything around you is falling apart. So, what can you control? You can control your composure, your decision making, your effort, and your attitude toward adversity. It's not about being emotionless, it's about not letting the emotion control you. Frustrated after a bad round? That's human. It's just you don't rage. Feeling pressure in a clutch? That's natural. You just don't panic. Teammates doing dumb stuff? You just don't match their energy. You hold your ground and you stay level headed. The arena is always chaotic. Momentum shifts. People always make mistakes or people choke. Most players get swept up in it. They start forcing plays, they tilt, they go silent, and then they break. The Stoic competitor does the opposite. They stay grounded, they adapt, they lead, not by yelling, but by example. Stoicism isn't a quick fix, it's a system you live by. Most players care too much about stats and the scoreboard, but when things go south, the numbers don't save you, your mindset does. The game's not over until someone hits 13, or until the ref blows the whistle. In the long run, it's not the talent that separates people, it's resilience. That's what Stoicism is about, the ability to perform at your highest level, no matter the noise. So you might be thinking, okay, that's Stoicism, so now what? What if I told you ego is the actual real reason why most people aren't stoic in the first place? Ego isn't always loud. It's not just trash talk or thinking you're better than everyone. Sometimes ego shows up when you're afraid to admit you're wrong. Sometimes it's when you avoid making smart plays because you're scared of looking dumb. Your ego constantly wants to protect your image, your rep, your scoreboard, and how people see you. Stoicism teaches you to let go of that. You missed your shot, own it, move on. You're not fragging, don't force it, just play the round smart. You messed up a clutch, no excuses, you learn from it, and you reset. You don't need to constantly look like the best player. You just need to play like the best version of yourself, and that only happens when your head is clear. If you play the game constantly trying to protect your pride, you will never grow. If you drop the ego and actually accept failure, that's when you start improving fast. That's stoicism. It's not about being cold, it's about being honest with yourself. So here's a question most people never actually ask themselves. What's your real goal? Is it to go pro? Is it to improve? Or is it just to have fun? Because whatever it is, your mindset needs to line up with that. You can't just say you want to get better and then ignore your mistakes. You can't say you want to go pro and let your emotions control every single round. You can't say you're just playing for fun and if you get tilted every time something doesn't go your way. Most players never improve not because of mechanics, but because their ego feeds this delusion that they're already better than they are. But when you're honest about your goal, that's when stoicism makes sense. You're not trying to impress anyone, you're trying to improve. You stop reacting emotionally and you start making decisions with purpose. That's the switch most players never make, but if you want to grow, that's where it starts. I asked myself that same question: what's my real goal? And it made me realize a lot. It helped me take a step back and look at what I can actually improve. My aim, I felt like I wasn't consistent enough, so I started playing Kovacs daily. As a teammate, I realized it's not just about saying nice try, it's about how I play. Sometimes that means taking more supportive roles and setting other people up. And the biggest shift, I stopped letting ego blur my progress. When I first hit Face It level 10 in 1 month, I felt that ego creeping in. I started thinking I deserved better teammates and that I was above the people I queued with. But that mindset, it didn't help me get better. It made me frustrated, made me tilt a lot easier, and honestly, it blinded me to a lot of the mistakes I was making just because I was blaming it on the other teammates. That's when stoicism really started to matter. When I stopped thinking I was owed anything and everything and just focused on my own game and improving. Not better than others in that egotistical way, just better than I was yesterday. That's where I'm at right now, just trying to stay focused, improve, and not let ego get in the way. If any of this made you think differently about your own mindset, that's all I wanted. And if it did, let me know. I read every comment.